Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Touchstone Essentials Live. I am Cindy Klement. I'm both your host and your presenter this evening, as our dear friend Craig Daly will not be joining us. As I mentioned, my name is Cindy. I've been in the healing industry since the mid 1970s, and I have an extreme passion for sharing and educating about health. So thank you for this opportunity tonight. And as you can see, my picture that always covers up my brown hair, now I've got the beautiful leaves in the shape of Michigan. I just love that photo. It is my pleasure to present tonight's webinar on organic super fiber. Oh my goodness, we all need more fiber. Well, most of us do anyway, but let's just dive in and learn more about this incredible product. According to the University of California, San Francisco, the current dietary fiber among U.S. adults, the intake of dietary fiber, averages only about 15 grams a day. And they also state that only 3 to 5% of Americans are getting enough fiber. And yikes, right? Because the amount we do need, and again, depending on your body size and your health concerns, the amount we need can be anywhere between 19 and 38 grams every day. Now, the National Library of Medicine shows that studies have found fiber to have protective effects against chronic health conditions, things like obesity, type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, as well as metabolic syndrome. Research also shows that consuming more fiber is going to help to stabilize glucose or blood sugar levels, as well as support a healthy cholesterol in the body. And it also makes you feel really full fast. It curbs cravings. And so as a result of that, it supports healthy weight management. Now, fiber, prebiotics, probiotics, plant-based enzymes, those all support the gut microbiome. And at this point, we must be all aware of the importance of that gut and its relationship to, if nothing else, the immune health of our body as well as our mood. There's a very large body of literature that's been published in PubMed that suggests that eating a variety of foods that contain fiber does have a protective effect against colon cancer, prostate cancer, as well as breast cancer. Now, dietary fiber, what it is it's the indigestible part of the plant material. And there are two types. There are soluble and insoluble fiber. So the soluble fiber, it easily dissolves in water. It's broken down into a gel-like substance once it reaches our gut, and sometimes actually in the glass when you're mixing it up. But what soluble fiber does is it blocks fats that would otherwise be digested and absorbed from your meal. And so again, that can help with weight management. And it can also, because it absorbs fats, it can prevent some of the dietary cholesterol that we are eating from being broken down and digested. So over time, soluble fiber can help to lower cholesterol levels. Now, soluble fiber slows down the digestion rate of carbohydrates, so the meals are less likely to cause that sharp spike in blood sugar levels. And so by lowering cholesterol levels and stabilizing blood sugars and decreasing fat absorption, if we regularly consume soluble fiber, it's going to reduce our risk of cardiovascular disease. And additionally, soluble fiber-rich foods feed the gut bacteria as it ferments in the colon, so it helps the good bacteria to thrive longer. Now, as an indigestible material, insoluble fiber, that's one way to think about it, is insoluble, indigestible. But the insoluble fiber, it sits in the digestive tract, or actually the gastrointestinal tract, and it absorbs fluid and sticks to the other byproducts of digestion that are already being formed into the stool. And because it's not digested at all, insoluble fiber is not a source of calories, and its presence in the body speeds up the movement and the processing of wastes and helps actually prevent gastrointestinal blockages as well as constipation. And when you prevent constipation and intestinal blockages, insoluble fiber is going to reduce the risk of developing hemorrhoids and can also reduce the risk of colorectal cancer. Now, insoluble fiber does not dissolve in water. It's left intact. And as the food moves through the GI tract, it just keeps digestion moving and detoxifies that digestive tract. So let's look at the top sources of plant fiber. Pea hulls are one of the richest sources of fiber on the market, and they are a naturally occurring dietary fiber that's produced from grinding that outer hull of what we call field peas. And given their complexity of dietary constituents, things like cellulose and pectin and something called hemicellulose, they can enhance the gut microbial diversity and thus aid in constipation. And with so much fiber packed into these tiny flax seeds, this is what promotes our regular bowel movements and can improve digestive health, lower cholesterol, lower blood sugar. And flax seeds, the fiber in flax seeds has been proven to lower blood pressure. So flax seeds, like most fiber, helps to keep you full longer and then can help you manage your weight by controlling your appetite. Now, flax seeds contain both soluble and insoluble fiber, and so that's going to support gut health and promote that bowel regularity. Now, almost all of the carbohydrates in chia seeds are fiber, and this gives them the ability to absorb anywhere from 10 to 12 times their weight in water. And studies show that chia seeds can lower the rise in blood sugar after a high-carb meal, which could definitely benefit people with type 2 diabetes or metabolic syndrome. Now, according to Mayo Clinic, chia can improve heart health, reduce cholesterol levels, as well as promote intestinal health. So remember, fiber takes longer to digest and it makes you feel satisfied longer, which is how it can help with weight loss and decrease your risk of developing diabetes and heart disease. Now, rice fiber comes in either rice hull or rice bran, and they share very similar compositions. The studies show that rice hull fiber, or any of the rice fibers, consumed for 3 months on a regular basis, on a daily basis, can significantly reduce fasting blood sugar by up to 22%, as well as reduce blood cholesterol levels by up to 18%. So, oh my goodness, rice hull fiber meets the growing demand for the marketplace for allergen-free sources of insoluble dietary fiber, whereas really pretty much in the 70s, we had wheat bran that was quite popular at that point. Now, psyllium husks is also considered a valuable source of fiber, and it's made of what's referred to as mucilage. And this mucilage is obtained through the mechanical milling or grinding to remove the seed's outer layer where that fiber is so highly concentrated. Psyllium fiber is non-digestible carbohydrate, and it provides, of course, several health benefits like all fiber does. Psyllium is best known for its use in digestive health, but it can also provide health benefits such as lowering cholesterol and maintaining those healthy blood sugar levels. Psyllium fiber is also made up of both the soluble and the insoluble forms of fiber, although the majority is the soluble fiber. And much of the power of psyllium fiber comes from its resistance to absorption in the small intestine, which enables it to work with the body to provide benefits through the digestive tract. Psyllium fiber can resist absorption because the human body can't break it down. But when it mixes with water, it forms a gel in the body and can increase its volume by about 20 times that of the dry powder. Now, pumpkin sprouts, anything that has been sprouted, they're really a nutritional powerhouse, because when you're sprouting seeds, you help unlock the nutrients so that the body can better absorb them. All seeds contain all the nutrients they need to germinate and grow into plants. But when you soak them and sprout them, it mimics that germination process and increases the bioavailability of the seed's beneficial nutrients. Quinoa is another gluten-free grain, and it's much higher in fiber than most other grains. And there have been numerous studies that show its soluble fiber can help lower cholesterol, increase fullness, as well as help with weight management or weight loss. Now, quinoa has a very low glycemic index, and a glycemic index is how much it's going to your meal is, or your blood sugar is going to spike after a meal. So if it has a low GI, it's going to be a little blip. If it's got a high GI, it's really going to spike. So quinoa has a very low GI or glycemic index, and that's good for reducing blood sugar and insulin. And low GI foods have been shown to prevent overeating and decrease hunger. Now, interestingly, quinoa also provides what is called resistant starch. And this is what also feeds the beneficial bacteria in your gut and improves your gut health, reduces your risk of disease. Resistant starch can take a lot longer to break down. It can take over 2 hours to digest, and it's primarily broken down by fermentation in the large intestine by the bacteria that live there. Hopefully, you have that good bacteria that lives there. Now, resistant starches and insoluble fibers do have a lot in common, but they're not exactly the same. The insoluble fibers continue to pass through the colon, but the resistant starches are fermented by bacteria in the colon. Now, lastly, millet is also, of course, a dietary fiber. It's very rich in fiber. It's insoluble fiber in millet. It's a prebiotic, and it supports that good bacteria and in the digestive system, but it also adds bulk to the stool, which helps to keep you regular and reduces your risk of colon cancer. I can tell you a family member of ours had colon cancer, and it was over a year-long recovery for them. They actually ended up with a colostomy bag, but they're well now, but it was really a rough go for a while. So, had that person had more of the fiber in their diet instead of just a very steady diet of meat, maybe that would have, helped a little bit. Now, the soluble fiber in millet can help reduce the amount of low density lipoprotein cholesterol in the body by turning into a gel in your stomach. It can absorb that cholesterol and allow it to be carried out of your system in the stool. Now, there are still more beneficial plant properties in the organic superfiber, beginning with inulin. Inulin is a plant-based prebiotic fiber. I guess it's favorable. It's a prebiotic fiber that's neither digested nor absorbed in the body, and this allows it to be digested by good bacteria in the gut and then provide those nourishing benefits. And as a natural prebiotic, it plays an important role in healthy digestion, as well as decreasing the risk of many different diseases in the body. And Jerusalem artichokes are a very good source of inulin fiber. And Jerusalem artichoke even has protective benefits for colon cancer, against colon cancer. Now, there's a growing research that agave inulin, so we've got the Jerusalem artichoke inulin, and we've got the agave inulin. And this growing body of research shows that agave inulin has the potential in improving digestive health, promoting a healthy weight, relieving constipation, and helping to encourage those healthy blood sugar levels. The recent studies have shown that this agave inulin improves several markers for the heart by reducing cholesterol and even blood triglycerides. And other studies have shown that agave inulin shifted the gastrointestinal microbiota composition and activity in healthy adults. Now, interestingly, agave inulin is also a natural sweetener. So when we talk about where does that sweetness come in the organic superfiber, certainly agave inulin is one of those. Now, acacia gum, it has a naturally sticky texture, and it helps to reduce irritation and inflammation throughout the body. Acacia gum contains water-soluble dietary fibers, and again, healthy for keeping that cholesterol in check and under control. There was one study, but it showed that consuming acacia gum every day helped to manage the concentration of cholesterol in the blood. And because of other studies and many studies that have been done on this, the FDA actually made changes to regulations to recognize the beneficial uses of acacia gum as a good fiber source in many popular foods, including cereals and juice and yogurt. So it's become a little more mainstream. Now, fenugreek has shown benefits for lowering blood sugar levels, boosting testosterone, increasing milk production in nursing mothers. It's also been shown to reduce cholesterol levels and lower inflammation in the body and help with appetite control. Now, fenugreek tastes very similar to maple syrup. And oh my goodness, probably 18 years ago now, when my daughter was a young mother and she was nursing her firstborn, she's a school teacher, and she was taking fenugreek tea and fenugreek capsules because it's known to increase milk production. But all of her students would tell her that she smelled like pancakes. And it was the maple syrup that would make them say that. But they would say, Mrs. G, you smell just like pancakes. But to be clear, the organic superfiber contains a small amount of fenugreek, and some researchers or research suggests that large amounts of fenugreek should be avoided during pregnancy. But according to the National Institutes of Health, fenugreek is not safe during pregnancy in amounts greater than found in food. For example, fenugreek is widely used in Indian cuisine, and it's also found in North African as well as Middle Eastern dishes. So it's safe in food, of which organic superfiber is definitely a food, but just not safe during pregnancy to be drinking the tea or taking the capsules. Now, marshmallows' healing powers are due in part to the mucilage it contains. And mucilage means it's kind of a sticky and yet soothing property to kind of reduce irritation or inflammation in the digestive tract, as well as in the urinary tract, but it also helps to repair that gut lining. So anywhere that we have a mucous membrane or hollow organs, marshmallow root is very good for that. And the research suggests that the mucilage content, what it does is it provides a protective layer of tissue on the lining of the digestive tract, and again, as well as the ureters and the urethra in the urinary tract. But marshmallow root can also stimulate the cells that support tissue regeneration. So we want to kind of build those areas back up. let's see, turmeric. Many of turmeric's medicinal benefits come from one of the constituents found in it known as curcumin, which has powerful, or curcumin, whichever way you want to pronounce that. Curcumin has very powerful antioxidant properties, and therefore it supports liver detoxification. It can aid in digestion, and it's used to support healthy liver function. And most researchers do agree that the basic mechanism of action within turmeric are those curcuminoids that seem to scavenge for damaging particles in the body that are known as free radicals. Now, when you add in the enzymes into a fiber product like organic super fiber, it helps to facilitate that digestion of plants. So for instance, amylase is something that breaks down complex carbohydrates, and protease, of course, breaks down the proteins, and lipase breaks down the fats. The cellulase breaks down the fiber from the plant cell walls. The lactase, of course, breaks down the lactose in the foods. But then not only are we putting fiber into a product, but we're giving providing enzymes to help people digest it. And they also add Bacillus coagulans, which is a probiotic strain that's resistant to heat and harsh acidic conditions, which means it survives the stomach and makes its way to the gut in order to support that gut microbiome. So we've got all kinds of good stuff that's going to help us digest it even better. Now, organic super fiber has 7 grams of fiber in a serving, 3 grams of soluble and 4 grams of the insoluble. But it also has 4 grams of protein. It has the plants that provide the antioxidants. It has the digestive enzymes. It has probiotics. It has prebiotics. It's also organic. It's gluten-free. There are no added sugars. It's grit-free, soy-free, and dairy-free. And it's also packaged in what's called plastic neutral packaging. And what does that mean? Well, organic super fibers packaging is certified what we call plastic neutral by an organization called Repurpose. And what that means is that Touchstone Essential funds the removal of as much nature-bound plastic as they use in their packaging. And really, folks, it's part of Touchstone Essentials' ongoing efforts for sustainable, eco-friendly measures. So please recycle that packaging at your local recycling facility. But back to Repurpose. Repurpose is the world's leading plastic action platform. It has a global coalition of people and companies that are dedicated to reducing waste, dedicated to reviving lives and restoring nature's balance. As the slide indicates, there are 381 million tons of plastic produced every year, with 91% of our plastic waste being dumped into the environment or burned in low-income countries. So to me, who is not only worried about our bodies, but our planet, I think it's really exciting to have products that come in glass and packaging that has been repurposed and is recyclable. So way to go, Touchstone Essentials. Now, how do we supplement organic super fiber? On the label, you'll notice that it says to add 2 scoops to 8 to 12 ounces of water or juice and shake it. And then it has a little vanilla taste to it. But you can also blend it into your favorite smoothie. You can blend it into your green drink, whatever you want. But here's the caution. Since most people don't get enough fiber, if you introduce fiber in a larger amount, that a person can digest, or before their body gets used to it, they can have some temporary discomfort and get a little windy, a little gassy. So if you or someone you know is currently eating a lower fiber diet, you might want to suggest that they start with half of a serving, which would be 1 scoop, or even a half of a scoop, and then just build it up over time. So you could do one scoop once a day. You could do a half a scoop twice a day. Just start slowly and work it up, and then increase it to a full serving size once your body adjusts to that fiber intake. And in addition, it's really recommended to drink more water to ease that introduction of more fiber. Remember, we've got chia seeds that are soaking up fluids and creating, X amount of times their weight. We have to have more fluids in the diet when we're using a fiber supplement. Now, organic super fiber is a whole-based supplement, a whole foods-based, as you've seen on the slides, and it really is safe for all ages. Now, the children's recommended fiber intake, it varies like adults do, but there's a rule of thumb for calculating how much a child needs. And again, this is all dependent not just on age, but we're going to use that as a factor. What you do is you take the child's age and you add 5 to it. So a 5-year-old, you add 5 to it, they need about 10 grams of fiber today. It's really easy math. But remember, it's going to vary depending on their body size, their needs, their constipation, whatever's going on with their body. I know my granddaughter is 7, but she's about the size of a 5-year-old. So I would still think in my mind, okay, that's 10 grams a day. Let's see what else. Let's recap. Organic super fiber contains, as we mentioned, organic fiber, prebiotics, and probiotics, and that's going to support a healthy microbiome. Number 2, it has plant-based enzymes that are going to promote healthy digestion, and this is going to help result in less bloating and less gas. Number 3, it's insoluble fiber. It's going to help keep that digestive tract moving, so you'll be more regular. Number 4, its soluble fiber helps to support a healthy cholesterol level and lipid levels. So, for a healthy heart. Number 5, the research shows that consuming fiber can help stabilize the glucose levels in the body. Number 6, fiber speeds up digestion and helps to scrub toxins from the digestive tract. And number 7, with 7 grams of fiber, it's going to help reduce your appetite, so you eat less at meals. So you might want to take your fiber just before a meal or 20 minutes before a meal to kind of eat maybe a little bit less because you feel more full. Number 8, with organic superfoods, they provide 4 grams of plant protein, and that too is going to help to curb those cravings. And lastly, number 9, the organic herbs and superfoods are going to provide those antioxidants that we need to fight those free radicals. Now, organic super fiber combines extremely well with the other Touchstone essential products. For instance, as it indicates on the slide, Super Greens Plus D and the Fulvic Minerals Plus, we've got a gut reset program. If you're looking for a weight loss program, we can use Boost and organic super protein with the organic super fiber. Cardiovascular support, along with our fiber, Wellspring and Super Green Juice. For detox support, Pure Body Extra. And for blood sugar support, Super Green Juice and organic super protein. So combine it. If you're making a shake, add a little bit to the green drink, add a little bit to your protein. So, it really combines quite well. Now, remember, there is no sugar in organic super fiber, and that mildly sweet taste comes from the superfoods inside, including organic Lujan guao, agave inulin, as well as the vanilla. But just so you understand, because vanilla is in a concentrated powder form and being used for taste, Touchstone Essentials is required to label it as a flavor, but it's organic, there's no sugar, so don't don't be afraid of seeing that it says flavor added. Now, monk fruit, or as we called it, the Luhan Guao, it also has another name known as Buddha fruit. And what it is it's a small round fruit that grows in Southeast Asia. It contains 0 calories, and yet it is 100 to 250 times sweeter than sugar. So a very small amount goes a long way. But again, there's no binders in this product, no preservatives, anything artificial in this product. And truly, I believe we've come to expect nothing less from Touchstone Essentials. So organic superfiber is good for the body, and the packaging is good for the environment. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's presentation, and we welcome you to join us on November 17th for our webinar on heavy metal detoxification. So have a wonderful rest of your evening, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Good night, friends.